For decades, the world has looked at African fashion through the lens of potential. But that era is over. From the small corner stores of Dakar to the big-name designers of Lagos, we aren't waiting for a seat at the table anymore. We are designing the room, from the corridors of power to the brightest global stages.
Africa is not what it used to be back in the day.
African fashion just takes the stage globally in prominent spaces. There was the V&A exhibition.
Within the story, Ghana has its own chapter. Accra has always had taste, a sense of self, a relationship with clothing color, an identity that runs deeper than trend. What the difference is now is that the rest of the world is starting to see what we've always had.
We have great stuff as Africans.
We do,
but
we need to. And I'm
enough.
glad that this is a platform for African brands because it's necessary.
It is.
We're doing big things, so the world has to see how amazing we are.
African fashion has a place now.
Because in this new era, luxury isn't just about what you wear. It's about what your clothes reveal about who you are. It's about how a person chooses to be seen, what they want to say without speaking, what they are claiming about themselves, and where they come from.
Chocolate was built on the ethos of being you and being different. And for us, celebrating the aspirational side of you, the part that really makes you stand out, has always been us.
Something has shifted. A generation of designers that decided to build institutions, not just collections, not just clothes, not just brands, houses with vision, a language, a clear idea of who they are dressing, and why.
Revealed the new era.
We're standing beneath an installation that represents art, fashion, and sustainability. It's a 14-year project in conjunction with Ghanaian artist Emmanuel Agriteko. My name is Bliss Kingg. On today's episode of Revealed, we go into the atelier where history is being stitched.
And my name is Lucille Kingg. Now on this episode, we're visiting 3 fashion houses that's shaping the narrative and dressing presidents. Chocolate Clothing, Kenten, and the legendary Chrissy Brown. Our journey begins here in Osu, a neighborhood where the city's heartbeat is loudest. Now situated in the eclectic Nyaniba market is Kenten, a luxury house that thrives off being the ultimate collector of luxury African fashion. Now today we have a walk through the minimalist and warm interior of Kenten before we head to chocolates. Let's go.
What you want from me? I'm not a broken woman, you see. You say that you want my want.
Guys, we have Myth House in the building. I love Myth House. I'm obsessed. Oh my God, this is so cool. I wonder how long they took to make this. Wow, I'm coming back for this one. Oh my God, there's so many colors. Hello, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. What's your name?
My name is Emmefa.
Emmefa, yes. Wonderful. I'm Lucille.
Hi, Lucille.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. And welcome to Kenten.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I don't think I've seen you here before.
No, I haven't, but I would love to see and explore everything.
Yes.
So
Kenten is a concept store.
Right.
It's an African concept store. The whole idea is bring African pieces, premium content in one space. So everything you see here, first of all, are African products.
I love that.
Exactly.
High five for that, girl.
The whole idea is to have premium African products.
Yes.
I don't think we get the leverage, we don't get the audience, the applause enough for the
Absolutely,
product
I agree.
that Africans produce. So it's just saying, hey, we're Africans and we make great stuff.
Yes, and we're proud of it,
Exactly.
right?
Even the men's section.
Okay.
And these are the women's.
Okay.
Which one would you want us to explore first?
Obviously the women's section.
Ladies first. So
Yes.
this is Aleku. Aleku is a Nigerian brand. Yes, it's very, very lovely, very lovely design. And they have a host of collection of their clothing items here. We also have this.
Oh, we all know what this is. Christy Brown.
Of course, we have to.
Each decision points back to the same conviction that luxury does not require a certain kind of address. It requires a certain kind of intention.
Let me ask you something.
Tell me.
Do you know roughly how many brands you house here?
Oh, we actually host over 90 brands.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Yes, that is
Like including skincare and all?
skincare,
Right.
food, books,
Nice.
accessories.
And everything is African.
Everything is African. That's the whole
I love it,
idea.
I love it,
You know,
I
we
love it.
have great stuff as
We
Africans.
do.
But
We need to,
promote
and
it
I'm
enough.
glad that this is a platform for African brands because it's necessary.
It
And we're doing
is.
big things, so the world has to see
We need
how
to-
amazing we are.
Because we are amazing. Our stuff
Yes,
is great.
yes, I agree.
Of course, can you see
Look
these?
at all of this. Maybe not. Let me eat my plantations and call it a day. Thank you so much.
Thank you
It was really nice talking to you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Of course. Let me grab my plantain chips and go. Bye.
In the world of fast fashion, what happens to the clothes that do not make it? The ones that are made cheaply, shipped far, and discarded somewhere that was never meant to absorb them. In Accra, that question is not abstract. It arrives every week in bales by the thousands of tons.
Now, and Greenpeace is sounding the alarm over what it calls an environmental and public health disaster in Ghana, and the culprit, they say, is fast fashion.
Earlier this year, Ghanaian artist Emmanuel Agri staged an installation at Osu Cemetery that connects two histories most people would never think to connect. Before colonial rule, many Ghan families buried their dead within their compounds, beneath their houses. But the 1888 Cemeteries Ordinance ended that. Bodies were moved into state-controlled cemeteries. The dead were now separated from the living by law. Agri sees a parallel with what's happening now. Accra receiving the world's discarded clothing. Land and water absorbing the consequences of consumption that happens somewhere else. He calls it waste colonialism.
The sale of or the trade of Obroniwe secondhand clothing this came right before independence, when the country started experiencing the boom of the Western clothing and the Western fashion. And it was very interesting because the country had a culture and a way they dressed and the way they presented themselves and their sense of fashion. But then there was a desire to borrow another person's culture and make it theirs. So from a cultural standpoint, Obroniwe was more like an invasion on our culture, right? And then it slowly, the desire for white-collar jobs and all these other stuff changed the way people want to be seen, people want to be identified, in the fashion sense, the way people dress, just a whole other factors. But in the end, it became a part of a society that was constantly changing, constantly evolving, constantly growing. Fast forward into the late 20th and early 21st century, there was a very, very high boom in secondhand clothing trade. And Ghana was really at the epicenter of it, just buying more and more and getting more and more clothes from the global north. And that's when the conversation really changed, because the country was receiving much, much more than it could ever take on itself.
A few streets from the cemetery, Agri has placed another art installation, another intervention, this one in the full public view, a billboard at Dankwa Circle in the heart of Osu. We went there to film, and we did not expect to find the artist himself standing underneath his artwork.
Hey man, what's up, brother? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Crazy though.
Dang.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
But we want to know, I have so many questions. Did you just wake up one day and say, I want to do something different? Or was it planned?
It's been in the works for about 6 years now. Just started working with discarded secondhand clothes, started doing very large installations. Did the first one at Common Landfill.
Okay.
And then did one on the ocean.
Oh, wow. So what does it symbolize and what does it mean to you?
I think in the place of art, I would say public art for me is really putting art out there to engage the public. And whatever they think about the art is what the art is, you know. So
interesting.
For me,
Right.
for me it was more about people's interpretation, the reaction, and the stir that it would cause. You know? People just encountering material in such volume on a billboard and just changing the narrative of what a traditional billboard should look like.
Interesting.
Something like that.
I'm trying to look at it and interpret it for myself. But for me, it means just how much clothing is out there, especially like in the landfills, right? We're not a very sustainable world at all. And I think this signifies that we're just doing too much sometimes.
Exactly. Exactly.
Is that kind of what you had in mind when you were installing this?
Yeah, the first iteration is actually called the Brony Wheel. And we're doing 7 installations in Accra.
Interesting.
It's a traveling installation and project. We're going to go to several African countries. So from Ghana, we moved to Nigeria, to Kenya, Tanzania, to Uganda, and other African countries. To just make it really a global conversation.
Interesting.
What I was interested in is to see this same clothes just end up on a billboard in Nigeria. So it's the same fabric, the same clothes, but in different spaces, and engaging different people, having a sense of what they think about consumerism and what they think about textile waste and fashion and fast fashion and all these conversations around sustainability and environmental activism.
We did not plan this conversation, but it belongs in this episode. A few kilometers away, a different kind of movement is happening. Inside one of Accra's most internationally recognizable addresses, a different kind of statement is being made. Kwaku Bediako has built a brand that is as deliberate about its address as it is about its design. A house that has created a whole separate line of sustainable clothing.
You see this? This wall of fame here. A lot of people have signed their signatures here. I was here many years ago and I signed as a sign of belief in this brand. And now we're global. Check us out. You know what it is. Good to see you, bro.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Tell us about this wall of fame. How did you build this wall of fame?
Oh, man, Charlie. So, first of all, I wanted to build a studio that could speak to the bespoke lifestyle of what we do, the bespoke lifestyle of what we do. So we built a runway, and to separate the bespoke conversations from ready-to-wear conversations.
Oh.
So when you enter, the right side is for bespoke conversations, and then the left side is for, ready to wear.
So I've come to the conclusion that you make clothing for moments. Do you agree? And how did that come about?
Let me throw the question back to you. You've got a couple of moments that really stood out. How did chocolate make you feel?
That's how I came to the conclusion. You may not necessarily imagine the clothing when you style it at home or here at the showroom, but when you get on the stage it's a whole different matter. Is that something deliberate?
Well, I mean, listen. First of all, chocolate was built on the ethos of being you and being different.
Okay.
I think that being you is coupled with a lot of moments that are very personalized to the individual. And for us, celebrating you, celebrating your moments, celebrating the aspirational side of you, the part that really makes you stand out, has always been us.
But let me get a bit of a background. How many years have you been running chocolate now?
I mean, for a while. I mean, informally for a while.
Let's say a decade?
Well, you can say that. Well, a lot of informal parts. But for me now, we are in a new space. Resetting, getting ready to really honor the name Chocolate Clothes Global. Mm-hmm. So it's not about how many years. I mean, I'll say that chocolate is as old as my age.
And at the center of everything chocolate clothing does is an idea that most luxury fashion brands do not lead with: sustainability.
We realized that it was now good time to come up with that other sister brand that will cater more to the day-to-day look. Okay, so Cacao was born. It started off with a collab with chocolate. We still exploited the same logo, but with a different finishing. Mm-hmm. We worked that for a couple of months, and then we realized that it was key to build a separate logo, because apart from it being a day-to-day brand, we also wanted to touch base on not just sustainability, but the reimagination, the redefinition, the rejuvenation of our entire being. We just start off with a recycle conversation, but Cacao essentially is a call to reimagine, a call to never stop, a call to never feel like, oh, you've hit a wall, so that's it. And that's the same approach we are taking to fabric waste and all of that. So it's really exciting.
That's right. It's exciting.
Yep, it's in three different parts.
I think the first thing I wore was a Cacao, actually.
Yes, you did. And those pants. You won the pants almost 20 times.
On the runway. No, not even that one. I won the other one on the runway.
Oh, snap. The
years ago.
The sack.
And that was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy.
And you walked away with all the girls. Anyways.
Words can only take you far with fashion. At some point, we have to see these clothes moving. And that's exactly what Kwaku Bediako does for us today. Over the last decade, Kwaku Bediako has put his clothing on over 43 presidents and world leaders and hundreds of Hollywood superstars. Today, he gets to try some of his looks on our very own Lucille Kingg. And during this process, you do not only feel the fabric, you feel the intention behind it and what it was made to say.
It's time for Lucille to endorse as well. Finally.
Oh man,
What would you think?
I mean, let me think about it. Of course, let's do it.
Before leaving Kwaku and his team, Lucille added her name to the Chocolate Clothing Wall of Fame. It's a small moment, but in a space built around the idea of the people who matter to the brand, it was a strong reminder of both Kwaku and I's friendship and journey to the top.
What are you putting in there? Have you figured out what you're going to write? Eish.
Hey, I'm using space.
Eish. The woman.
The woman king. Awesome.
Charlie, this one low key, like you say though. Hey, you say, hey. Oh,
Awesome.
okay. Watch it.
Where does this episode lead us next? To a house that defines longevity.
With over 18 years of brand building and international exposure, Christy Brown is more than a design. It is now a cultural institution, dressing global superstars like Beyoncé and more. Christy Brown is one of the most successful designers out of Africa.
Absolutely, and Christy Brown carries a unique weight of responsibility. She's taken the traditional Ghanaian aesthetic and translated it in a way that resonates from New York to Paris. This is the blueprint for merging ancestral stories with a unique, uncompromising edge.
This way?
Christy Brown has been here long enough to watch the conversations change, long enough to dress the people who shape how the continent sees itself, long enough to have taken Ghanaian fashion to stages the industry once thought were beyond its reach. Simply put, it is legendary.
Christy Brown.
Yes.
Okay, in the beginning, I thought that was your name, you know.
No, it's actually my grandmother's name.
I heard.
It's named after my dad's mom. She was a seamstress. And so, yes, I honored her legacy by naming the brand after her.
That's wonderful. She must be proud.
I'm sure, but she passed 2 years before I launched, though. So
wow.
But I know she is proud. You know, I'm sure she couldn't imagine where her name would be going after all these years.
That's wonderful. Your grandma must be proud, I'm sure. And she has a very lovely name, Christy Brown.
Has a nice ring to it.
That's a very nice name.
That's a nice ring to it.
Very nice name. Anyways, we begin officially with a cheers, Aisha.
Cheers.
What does the brand Christy Brown represent to you at this moment of its journey, 18 years in? What does it represent today?
African excellence.
Absolutely.
You know, that was the mission. And the mission was to create a global luxury brand from the continent, from Ghana, that showed the world like the stuff that we're made of, you know? And so for me, it's let this be the touch point of African excellence for the world.
Absolutely.
And I think we've done that.
Tell me, remember that moment from you where you realized that, oh, I think this Christy Brown thing, this brand has made a crossover, a genuine crossover now.
Ooh. I mean, there have been moments, right? There have been moments. I feel like with every step along the journey, it's reiterated the fact that no, we're here to stay, we're doing something right. So the brand launched in 2008, but in 2009, there was a fashion show in South Africa.
Okay.
And it was the first of its kind. It had designers from like 50 countries all over the continent. It was AFI and Arise magazine doing a partnership. It was a world-class production. It was multiple brands from different parts of the continent. And at that event, so that show, we won Emerging Designer of the Year.
Oh.
So for me...
That was just in about a year?
Yeah, exactly. For me, it just showed that, oh, you know what we're doing or what Christy Brown had injected into the game was needed at that time. Then, as a result of that, the brand got to show in Paris as a part of Paris Fashion Show at the Georges V. It was a whole presentation. But that crossover, I thought it was the first crossover, if you ask me, right? Because there was an exhibition of African brands, just a few of us though, but it was the best of the best in the Georges V, and it made a statement. So fast forward how many years? So this was 2010 when that happened. So how many years later, we are
about
here.
16. your age now.
My age now. And you're seeing African fashion just take the stage globally in prominent spaces. There was the V&A exhibition, first of its kind, where the Victoria and Albert Museum in England had the showcase of African fashion. Now that also traveled the world. It went to Brooklyn, now it's in Paris. But I find that there's so much happening in this space now, and people say, oh, African fashion is having a wave, but I feel there was a wave back then that we've been doing, but I think now our place is cemented. As you know, there's so much creativity, there's so much coming out of the continent.
Definitely a part of the conversation.
Absolutely.
By all means.
100%.
I feel like even the other industries of art have highlighted others.
Absolutely.
Like the music. The music has highlighted the fashion. The fashion has highlighted the food.
Absolutely.
Do you feel the real benefits of a big wave like Afrobeats on your fashion business?
On the fashion side of things, and I don't just look at it from a Christy Brown lens. I just think African fashion has a place now,
Yes,
you know. And first, the attention is there, but also, of course, when you have interest as well, then people start to study it more. And so our aesthetic will be better understood in the world, right? Whereas before, you're trying to convince people to understand that, no, this is not tribal, this is this, you can wear it this way. I think now it's easier, and the world is so much smaller and closer. Because imagine when I started Christy Brown, there was no Instagram. There was no Instagram mode. So now, you know, it just brings the world, the consumer closer, the tastemakers closer. So I think we're definitely having, it's not a moment, but it's just, we're here to stay.
We're here to stay.
We're here to stay.
Lucille and I set out today to visit fashion houses, enjoy the clothes and the looks. But we witnessed much more. We witnessed a reclamation, immense style, and the future of African fashion.
For my collection, I'm not inspired by elements, I'm inspired by the woman and where she is at. What's happening in her life, where her mind's at. That's how come I find that just as a brand, we've just never run out of inspiration. Because the woman is evolving constantly, and if you're in touch with her, you understand where she's at, and then you're creating to suit her life and where she's going, where she's headed. I enjoy it. I love what I do.
Absolutely.
Across the polished halls of the Kempinski Hotel and the vibrant, unfiltered streets of Osu, we've seen that African luxury is no longer a guest in the global conversation. It is fast becoming the host of it. What we've revealed is a generation of architects who aren't just stitching fabric, they are stitching a new image for the continent. This is craftsmanship that has dressed the global superstars of our time and challenged the world to look closer at what made in Africa truly means. It's in the sustainable heartbeat of chocolate, the fearless community-rooted innovation of Kenten, and the unshakable global legacy of Christy Brown. The world used to look at us for inspiration. Now they look at us for what is unique in the world and what is fast becoming the standard. Accra is no longer just a destination. It's the atelier of the future. Luxury gives us shine, but the vision gives us the soul. So from today's episode, here's my advice. Own your vision, protect your peace, and as always, stay glued. This is Revealed. See you next time.
One love, from Bole to Accra, one soul. Yenina Sidia, one do. Kele Wele Nipaya, one go.